Hi neighbors, welcome back to another video of Cooking with Neighbors. My name is Jerri-ellen. Welcome to my home, welcome to my kitchen. It's my pleasure to have you. It truly is. I appreciate your time. Today I'm making a red velvet cake. Oh, it is so good. And the frosting that goes with it, you're going to want to stick around for this one. I got a good one for you today. Don't forget, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Share it on your social media accounts if you think that other people may enjoy this recipe or this video. Also, if you haven't already subscribed, do that. Click subscribe and ring the notification bell to all so you don't miss out when I upload a video. Now let's get into it. So in my bowl here, with my stand mixer, I have 1 cup of butter and I'm adding 1/2 cup of shortening. And I'm going to start creaming these two together. My butter is at room temperature and the same with my shortening. I can't wait for you guys to try this cake. The batter that I'm making is going to give me enough for my Bundt pan, and it will also yield enough for like 6 to 8 muffins, okay? If you have a good sized Bundt pan, you could possibly get this whole batter into it, okay? You want to add 3 cups of sugar, and you should actually add it a bit more gradual than the way that I just dumped it in there, because you want it to cream through your mixture, and you want to have it, you want the sugar to have enough time to kind of melt with it, like melt into it, so that it's not too grainy. So I'm going to add the rest of my sugar slower than the first cup that I just added. And every once in a while though, make sure that you scrape down your bowl and get the bottom of your bowl, because a lot of times like stuff just stays at the bottom of the bowl, like the whisk doesn't seem to get down in there really good. And I'm going to continue with this, and you'll see how light and airy and fluffy this gets. And meanwhile, my oven is preheating to 325 degrees Fahrenheit. And the size of my Bundt pan, I'm using a 10-inch round Bundt pan, but it seems kind of shallow. So, yeah. Try to get one that's holds 12 cups or more if you want to just put the batter all in one Bundt pan. I'm going to speed this up just a wee little tad. Look how beautiful that is. It's already looking tasty. Tasty, tasty. Now, I have 5 eggs, and 5 large eggs that I put in a measuring cup there. Added a teaspoon of vanilla extract, so I don't forget to add my vanilla. I'm going to add those eggs one at a time. And I'm going to make sure that they get incorporated. And in between every egg or two, I'm going to scrape down the sides of my bowl and the bottom of my bowl and make sure that everything gets mixed up well together. And this is going to get even fluffier, and more volume is going to be added to this. All that air is getting in there. This is a very tender cake. If you want to make it doesn't matter what occasion, it's going to be a hit. And the frosting that I'm going to make for the cake, I'm going to double the frosting actually. I'll give you just I'll say the amount for the cake that I'm baking here today. I'll give you that amount as I'm making it, but keep in mind I'm actually going to be doubling it because I'm going to be using it for another baking thing today. So I'm just continuing to add my eggs, and I'll be right back. So the last of my eggs have been added. I'm just going to let them whip away over there while I grease up my Bundt pan with my homemade cake release. I just use, and how you make the homemade cake release is equal parts vegetable oil, shortening, and flour, an all-purpose flour. And you mix them really well together. And you can keep it in your refrigerator and it will last months. And it helps tremendously, especially with Bundt pans or cake pans that have like little nooks and crannies like a Bundt pan. It's great cake release. You won't buy cooking spray again, like for your cakes, once you start making this. And I also find with cooking spray, on my cake pans, the cooking spray, your cake will bake darker. And I kind of don't want it to bake any darker than, than what it will anyways, because the red velvet cakes, I like for them to have some redness. Wait till you see when I cut into this, how red and beautiful it is. I can't wait. I'm measuring out 3 cups of all-purpose flour. My flour is loosened in this bowl, and I'm spooning it into my measuring cup. And once it's overflowing, I just scrape the top of the measuring cup with a knife to level it off. Now I'm just adding a half a teaspoon of baking powder, and there was a little titch left in the thing I measured out, so I was tapping it back in there. And also a pinch of salt and cocoa powder, unsweetened cocoa powder, a half a cup. And I'm going to sift that into this bowl. And especially when using cocoa powder, you get these little pebbles in it because cocoa powder holds moisture, and you don't want to have like little clumps of cocoa powder in your batter for when you're baking this cake or any cake. And also, it's going to make a lighter and tender, more fluffier cake by sifting the flour. Now I have 3 bottles of red dye. And what were they? I think they're like 28 mils each. I'll look up how many ounces that is. But it's going to give this a really bright color, and as it bakes, the color is going to get a little deeper, but it is going to stay red by using the 3 food colorings. And just whip that in there, good. And I'm going to scrape down the side so that every bit of that mixture has red dye through it. And now I'm going to start adding a bit of flour, and you can't see it right now. I have a cup of milk. I'm using buttermilk, but you can use evaporated milk or whole milk, whatever you like. And I'm going to alternate between the flour and the milk, but I'm going to end with my flour. And I'm going to scrape down the bowl every once in a while, and I'm going to get this all incorporated really well. And now that it's pretty much all blended through and I'm on the last bit of flour, I'm going to mix the last bit of flour in by hand so that I don't end up overmixing the batter. Even though I hear that it will take a lot to overmix a batter. But this is the way that I do things and the way that I was taught, so this is the way I'm going to do it. And just going to get that all in there, and then we're going to start scooping this into the Bundt pan. I'll be right back. And neighbors, I just want to say thanks. Thank you. Thank all of you for being here. You're wonderful people, and I'm very thankful for you all. And thank you for the support and the love that you show. Thanks for sharing the videos, watching videos, subscribing, clicking the notification bell to all, please. And if you're not subscribed, and please consider it. I hope that you do. I love seeing my channel grow. It's very encouraging. And I love seeing people come back and say hello in the comment section, because I love people. I really do. I love all people. Every walk of life. It's an honor to meet people. Now, I'm putting a little bit too much batter in that pan. I know it. I'm trying to shake her down. And instead of using a muffin tin for some of the extra batter, I had this little heart silicone thing that I decided to use since it's going to be Valentine's Day, don't you know? So that's a little snacky poo cake. And I popped those in the oven. And like 20 minutes later, my snacky poo cake is ready. Isn't that nice and bright, the red? Now, the longer the other one's baking, and the little darker it's going to be. See how it's coming along? A little poofy there, folks. Now on to the frosting. I'm just going to give you the amount. Never mind what you're seeing here. I'm just going to give you the amount to do the cake. So 1 package of cream cheese that's softened. You're going to want 1/2 cup of softened butter, so a stick of butter. And you're going to cream that together really well. Meanwhile, over a double broiler, 170 grams of white chocolate or 6 ounces of white chocolate, you're going to start melting that. Basically, when your water starts to look like it's coming to a boil, turn it down to a simmer. And you want to melt it over simmering water, not boiling water. And when it's just about all melted, remove it from the heat. Continue stirring it until it's completely melted, and it will bring the temperature of it down before you start adding it to the other stuff that's in the bowl there, because you don't want it really hot, because you don't want your frosting to melt. And remember to always scrape down the sides of your bowl. And adding this white chocolate, this frosting is thebomb.com. I'm telling you. And it leaves a nice firmness to the frosting. It's just delicious. It's amazing. And cream it all together really well. And I'll be back when the cake is ready to come out. And all of you all that are still here, thank you so much. Look at how nice and bright and white that frosting is. And I can't wait for you to see this cake. Now, this is not a good piping frosting. You're going to have little bits of harder areas of chocolate and everything. But of course, I want to try piping it. And it's a lot to be desired seeing me trying to pipe a cake. So I'll come back in a wee little bit when it's all decorated and ready to cut. Here you go, little buddy. Someday I'm going to learn how to pipe. But if you had a nice wide open star tip, this you can pipe nicely on top of cupcakes, this frosting. Oh yeah, she's too warm. She's going to be melting. She's going to be melting. Tend to decorate it nicely. I thought the camera was on. It wasn't. But anyway, look at this cake. Look at it. Look at it. Oh my gosh. I can't wait. I cannot wait for you guys to try this. If you like red velvet cake, you have to try this. I'm just going to get a fork and just going to cut the cake so you can see it, like just the texture of it. It's just amazing. It's so beautiful. I love it, love it, love it. I will be doing less voiceovers starting sometime in March. Just things are a little hectic. Casey and Lucy are getting ready to move and everything. And we're just enjoying time as much as we can with them and the kitty cats before they move. But once that's done, I'll be back to the other style of just the more hanging out in the kitchen with me. But anyway, I love you all. Thank you so much for being here again. Peace, love, and God bless. And please come back again. Bye.